For those of you with shoulder problems, this might apply other places too, but specifically with shoulder problems, I want you to consider a construction crane. So on a big site where you've got this crane that's lifting heavy objects, beams, and putting those things into place, and think about what that crane needs to function besides somebody operating it. There's a whole lot at the base of that crane that they put there to stabilize it so that when it picks up an object, it doesn't just tip over. Let alone break anywhere along its line. It's got to be very strong, of course, but it's got to have a really broad base of support, maybe some counterweights down there. Your shoulder's very much the same way. Give yourself a break when your shoulders, when you're hurt and you're rehabilitating your shoulder and working through the exercises, and let's say you've got your motion back, but you just don't quite have the strength and the stability to throw, for example. Think about it. Do you ever see cranes move fast? They don't. It would require a tremendous amount of stability for them to move quickly. They already need a lot just to move slowly with such great weight. Dr. James Andrews was the medical advisor for a company that I worked for years ago. He kind of proposed the idea or just kind of gave us the perspective of a pitcher. Let's say you're throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and your arm's going from back here somewhere to here, going from 0 to 90 to 0 in this much space. That's incredible. If a car were to go from 0 to 90 to 0 in that much space, it would crumple. So the design of our shoulder, for one, is miraculous. It's amazing it can do what it can do. But a lot of times people who are struggling to get back to some overhead activities like throwing or just reaching overhead or doing your hair, they're not getting there because they're working the wrong things. They're not working their stability, which is what you need for overhead activities, and especially for speed. You don't need just pure strength. So just doing military presses overhead or an overhead press is just not going to do it. And your rotator cuff exercises that people do, pulling bands in and out and pushing forward and all those sorts of things, those aren't going to do it either. They're not specific to what you're trying to do here. And I'd venture to say that simply trying to do those exercises up here just isn't quite enough. You need to do stability exercises up overhead, handstands, push-ups out here, side planking, and things that cause essentially your muscles to contract and to relax and to really try to stabilize you as you move it through that motion overhead. And there's a lot of simple things that you can do at home, using a ball on the wall, bouncing it, scrubbing the alphabet into the wall at varying heights, progressing from lower to higher. We like the slingshot exercise, like thinking David and Goliath. You put something heavy but not too hard in a sock and swing that round and round and round, raising it up overhead. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on a body blade or try to construct something from Home Depot. There are a lot of things you can do with what you have around your house, even a punching balloon. And there are progressions that you can take your arm through up overhead to promote stability. Hope this is helpful for those of you with shoulder problems. I'm Benjamin Hill with Mission Physical Therapy.